All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tales from the Head. I am live here with your friend Danny, my
What
friend as
up?
well, not just yours. That's awkward. Why would I do
Our
that to
friend?
you?
Our
Yeah,
friend?
our friend.
Yeah.
You know, our friend. That sounds like a foreign exchange student.
Our
Be
friend.
nice to our friend, okay? He's new here. Um,
That's
so,
exactly what it is.
so, so, you're never a foreign exchange student to me, Danny.
Thank
Um,
you. Might have been.
in another life, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, So what was your week like this week?
It was cool, man. Like, since Tuesday, I kept on thinking that the following day was going to be Friday. So I was always like behind. So it has been like, your typical 2021 pandemic week where like the week seems to be just dragging and the weekend just seems to be going faster and faster.
Today, yeah, exactly. And today did drag ass. I agree with
Yeah.
that 100%.
Yeah. Today was also really, obviously we're in winter, but it was weird here in the Bay Area, Northern California, because it was nice and sunny, at least here in San Jose. It was nice and sunny. It was like mid 70s. And then it just like as soon as that sun went away, it was like it fucking dropped to like 50, 40, like high
Yeah.
40s, mid 50s. I'm like, oh shit.
No, it
Like
was
god
it was
dang.
cold tonight cuz I had to go get gas in Oakland cuz or not Oakland, Castro Valley cuz
Hmm.
I didn't want to get gas in Oakland
Right.
cuz Friday nights I don't fuck around. I'm just like
Yeah.
people are out getting crazy. I'm like I just go somewhere that's chill cuz usually I get gas in Livermore cuz the
Yeah.
white people out there don't scare me. And then So I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'll do that. But then I was like, nope, ain't gonna make it. So I had to stop a little Castro, which ain't Castro Valley ain't bad,
No, it's not bad.
not at all.
Right.
But it was
Like,
cold, man. I went out to that 76 and
hmm,
didn't even feel like it was that windy. And I had my Carhartt on too, and I was still felt like
yeah.
chilled. It felt
Yeah,
chilly tonight.
like I've been wearing my I don't know, I decided to wear dress socks today. So
Yeah,
they're not super like thick, they're kind of thin.
yeah,
And then like I had my Vans. So they're not really like padded, they're just like canvas, so like
true.
it just got cold. I'm over like running errands, I'm stepping out and I'm like, "Holy shoot." I'm like, "What the hell?" Like
Yeah,
yeah, it was kind of chilly, but
I
other than that
mean,
pretty
it's
chill,
at
dude.
least you're not doing the no shows. You know better than that.
Absolutely. Um, I have been tempted, but it is. I don't think I haven't worn my no show since like maybe since I went to Mexico.
Yeah,
But right now I'm like I don't care if people know that I'm wearing socks.
I'm
Is
rocking ankles right now.
yeah, I don't care. Like people can judge, but that's why I add little flares on my dress socks. Little happy ones. Little
Yeah,
people see and be like, oh hey, that's fun.
I got a pair of dress socks that's my kid screaming and crying. Vincent, when he was like a year old, we took a picture of
Yeah.
him like when he was hysterically crying, and I have a pair of socks with his head on them like a million times crying.
Oh, that's
And it's
fantastic.
hilarious because then when I wear them, I'm all, you know who this is? And he's like, and I'm like, it's you. And he's always like,
He's
what? And he's always trips out. And it's
like his
funny.
mind is blown and stuff because it's like, oh my god,
And it's him
how,
like
how,
all
how did he
bummed.
do that? Yeah,
He's like, he looks
yeah.
hilarious.
And he's like, how was he able to do that? I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. Like,
you should
how'd you
probably get it in
capture
a
my,
pillow
yeah.
now. Also,
Yeah, dude, I saw online that there's this lady, and I didn't do enough investigating, but it was one of those weird news things.
mm-hmm.
But it showed the pictures and the things, so it wasn't just like nonsense. But
Yeah.
apparently, this lady makes these like knitted or crocheted versions of the kids
Okay.
because the kids grow up and you can't cuddle with them and hug with. So this
Yeah.
lady
Yeah.
makes these fucking life size yarn kids so you can cuddle with them in the bed, and I think it's
Yeah.
fucking creepy as fuck.
Yeah. I read that article. I know which article you're talking about, and yeah, I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
that's just
it's like
weird.
it's not even like it gives you the vibe of more like a serial killer than a sexual predator to me, or
Yes,
both maybe I guess.
porque mira, this is my thing. eventually you're gonna get tired of that fucking pillow or that doll, and you're just gonna throw away, or you're gonna put in a like garage sale or something.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Imagine
like
if a
how are you gonna resell that though? You know?
yeah, who's gonna go to like a garage sale or like a yard sale and be like, oh, this is your son when he was like 2?
Oh, cool,
Yeah,
I'll buy it.
I'm gonna definitely buy this.
I
Like
always
that's
wanted to
just
cuddle with the real versions. Now I can just cuddle with this one.
now he's gonna be, a child. That's definitely serial killer shit.
It's
It goes back
weird.
to what we were talking about last week or 2 weeks ago with the House of Haunted Hill,
That was last
or
week. Yeah,
haunting
haunting a
on
Hill
Hill
House.
House. There we
Yeah,
go. Because the whole reason the mom, spoiler alert, the whole reason the mom wanted to kill like the twins and the other girl
right.
was because she wanted them to stay young forever and not be corrupt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was also because she was already. Well, that's what she. Right, wasn't she kind of possessed though, too? Though that wasn't really her
Yeah,
saying that.
I think she was. Yeah, I think she was
The
possessed because
house was
like
possessing her.
because the spirits were like talking to her and like, oh, you need to preserve him. You need to
But I think
save
they
your
drove her
children.
insane. She
Yeah,
eventually just went cuckoo.
she yeah, she definitely went.
I
She
mean,
got pushed to the limit. Push it to the limit. Um.
dancing on the razor's edge,
Yeah,
limit.
great song.
Was that?
Maybe
Isn't
one of
that?
the best montage.
Oh no, that
I'm
is
sorry.
Karate Kid, right? No, or is
No,
that?
no, dude, that's
Is it?
Scarface, dude.
Oh, that's right. That's the
Because remember,
montage sequence.
yeah, remember because he's like walking. They're like walking to the bank with like the sacks of like
Yeah, that's when they're
money.
starting to make their money finally.
Yeah, and then he marries Michelle Pfeiffer, and they get a tiger for no reason in Miami.
Dude, that I've never been a huge Michelle Pfeiffer fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think she's pretty, but maybe it's just I'm not
Yeah.
into like white girls as much.
Okay.
There's some hot white chicks. She just never really did it for me, Michelle Pfeiffer. I liked her as Catwoman a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, she was. Like I remember her in Catwoman, but I can't remember which other movies she's done.
Yeah, I know.
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I
sure she made like
we
a million.
we know we probably know them, but we probably just don't have them on the tip of our
Yeah,
tongues.
but yeah, like yeah, she's attractive. But I'm like, I don't know, Sofia Vergara, J
Oh yeah,
Lo,
hell yeah.
Shakira.
I
You
mean, I
know,
might get like some crazy freaking Puerto Rican STD from J Lo, but hey, I
yeah,
agree.
hey, it'll be worth
She's
it.
hotter.
100% worth it.
You know what it
But
is though now? I don't I have a chance, but um I just don't
look
want
at this.
second I don't want second helpings from A-Rod. I really don't.
I mean,
Or I shouldn't say second helpings. That sounds like I got firsts. I meant a
yeah,
second sloppy seconds.
yeah.
Second helping, jeez.
Well, I mean, it's funny. Is okay because this. I know we're kind of like materializing and sexualizing Jennifer Lopez,
A little bit.
but it's just a wee bit. Um, but it's interesting that we bring her up and you brought up the relationship with A Rod because Jennifer. I mean, here we see Jennifer Lopez, um, young females. They thrive to look how she be successful as her, to
Yeah.
look as good as she does. She's been in very like high profile relationships with like a Puff Daddy, A Rod,
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, um, Mark Anthony. She was married
Oh
with Mark
yeah.
Anthony for years. Has her 2 kids with Mark Anthony. But she was saying like after the divorce with Mark Anthony, she felt like depressed. She thought that was it. Nobody's gonna like want to marry her or be with her. Here's this older lady with 2 kids. Been trashed through so many like tabloids and stuff, and then A Rod was kind of going through the same route. Same thing.
Hmm.
Older, washed up. Well, I wouldn't say washed up baseball player, but like towards the end of his
Not
career
in his
with
prime.
yeah, with controversy also on his record, and they kind of
Yeah.
found each other, and they kind of like built each other's self-esteem, and they worked through their mental issues together. So like Jennifer Lopez has come out many times and say like, yeah, I owe um A Rod so much for like helping me go through like this hard times. So
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like if that's not like, we're always preaching like, oh, everybody goes through it, everybody goes through it. Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod is like an excellent example of like people going through it, and these people are seen as sex symbols and like what you want to thrive for in the male and the female, and here they are like, hey, we also have you
Yeah.
know
Issues.
issues, so that's,
Confidence issues.
yeah, confidence issues, and it's just like your mind just being your worst enemy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's true. Everyone's going through it, and but this week, I don't know. This week was weird for me too. It was like it's like slow, but then not slow, and then today was slow at work, but
Oh, really?
yeah, weird. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We were kind of okay with it just because we were like everyone's kind of burned out. But
Yeah.
on Wednesday, oh yeah, my grandpa's visiting, which is dope. He usually stays like a week or two every 6 months, and then
Mm-hmm.
summer, and then winter, and then but that's been nice because he was supposed to come up last week, but the weather was all shitty, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna postpone it. And then Sunday afternoon, I was about ready to take a nap. I was laying on the couch, and then with Vincent, and then my dog starts barking, and I just assume it's like Amazon or something. And
Yeah.
I'm like, shut the fuck up, like he's always being a pain in the ass. And then
Yeah. I know.
and then the doorbell rings, and I'm like, God damn it!
It's fucking.
So
They
like,
want
now
you
I
to sign
gotta
up for
get
some
up.
bullshit. Yeah.
So then I'm all grumpy old man, huffing and puffing. I'm like, who the fuck is this? I'm like, it's
dares?
2:00 on a Sunday. How dare
Yeah.
you interrupt my nap time?
Yeah.
So then I'm like, I look through the peephole and I see my grandpa, and I'm like, oh shit! I was hella happy.
Yeah.
It was like it went from being an asshole
Yeah.
to like a giddy kid. I was like,
Yeah.
yay! And I didn't take a nap that day, but no, it's been
okay.
cool to have a lot of quality time and have the kids spend time with him too, and it's been nice. And
Yeah.
as far as TV goes this week, I watched episode 9. I watched episode 8. It's a 9-parter of The Stand, CBS All Access, and I highly recommend it. It's funny too because I looked up reviews, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 6 out of 10, or no, I think even a 5 out of 10. But I don't really. Rotten Tomatoes is trash anyway. But
Right.
I was just laughing a little in my head because the 94 version was good, really good too. But they gave that one like a 75, and they gave this one a 4, and I'm like, or a 5, and I'm just like, who's doing this? Like, it's not a bad show at all. If anything, it's cool because like the criticism it's getting is it's telling the story a little out of order, but it's basically telling it in a more in a creative way that, which I like because you already have a linear representation of it that was made in 94. So what are you just going to do, a 2021 version of the same thing? Like, at least they're taking the subject matter and like giving you the information creatively. Like,
yeah,
it'll flash back, but it won't just be like this linear thing, So I'm like, I admire that. And like Stephen King put his approval on it. So it's just these dumb elitist fucking review people, and I think that's, well, there you go. That's our perfect segue for the Lone Star Review.
I was going to say, it's because everybody's this critic, and it goes into our first topic of today. Woo! It all flows.
Howdy, ma'am. Let me get one of them there Lone Star Reviews. So it's just like funny too, because I was thinking about this too. We do the Lone Star Reviews. So one day, if we get lucky, we could hopefully read our own Lone Star review.
Yeah. Like somebody reviewing ours, like, who the fuck gave this people?
Dude, I would love to read a 1-star review for our podcast. I encourage people all the time. I think I encourage them all the time to leave us 1 stars. No, but I think if we do have reviews, which I need to check on iTunes, I believe they're 5s.
Really?
I believe so. I may have bribed a few people.
Oh, okay.
Sent some wine and cheese. You know, it was
Mm.
respectable.
Wine and dine 'em. Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
a little prosciutto, maybe,
A bit of
depending on how I was feeling.
being a little bit of a politic on it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do that.
You gotta buy some boats sometimes.
You gotta be diplomatic.
There you go. That's the word.
I struggled with it a little, but I got it
Mm.
out.
I'm not gonna try and say it. Diplomatic. No.
Hey, you did it.
Yeah, I
You
got
did it better than me.
Hey.
Hey yo. So I could start if you want, since I think you know what. Let's
Sure.
just rip this Band-Aid off. All right. So Lone Star Review. I kind of just for the sake of where this is being or what the review is, I want to read their full names, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
Just totally incriminate them. So my Lone Star reviews this week are going to be for the illustrious and renowned, world famous Mustang Ranch in Nevada, which is a brothel, an active brothel right now. I looked up on Google. They are only doing escorts, and I think that's it because of COVID.
Wasn't there like an HBO show on them also? Or am I tripping on that?
I believe you're right, but that's the Bunny Ranch, and I think the Bunny Ranch is in. I think so. The Mustang Ranch is the one outside of Reno. The Bunny Ranch, I believe, is a little more
Vegas.
famous, and I think that is Vegas. So I think
Okay.
I think Mustang's northern Nevada, Bunny Ranch is southern Nevada, if I'm correct on
that
that.
makes sense.
So we're just gonna start. This is a woman, so this is interesting. Not that they should all be men, but I would assume most of the time they probably would.
Yeah.
Not because there aren't any lesbians that don't like to go to a brothel. I just do imagine weird, creepy things like this. I leave it up to middle-aged men.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
But
the
don't count out middle-aged women.
What's the word? That is the
Status quo. Probably?
demographic.
Demographic. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
I like that. It is a demographic. Balding. Usually a white guy. I mean, maybe a Mexican dude, but I don't know. Mexican guys will probably go to the parlors, the massage parlors more.
Yeah. I haven't dived in that realm of the world.
No, I know you haven't, but when I worked my job in Oakland pumping toilets, I got about 18 recommendations for rub and tugs. So, yeah. And I'm like, did you guys go there after work? Hopefully not.
Just go ahead and send that over in the Google Doc.
I put it in the Zoom chat. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you're
for
good.
science purposes, by the way.
I'm asking for a friend. Yeah.
Yeah, for places to avoid when I'm in Oakland.
Yeah, for COVID.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Leah wrote 1 star. Oh, by the way, this is a week ago. The girls were not what you would expect. They closed very early on the weekend, and I wouldn't pay $4,000 an hour to hang out with anyone. However, beautiful property, and the staff is very nice and professional. Like nice, compliment about things that no one gives a shit about. No one cares what the property looks like. No, I'm guarantee most men are like, oh, is it 2-story, 3-story? Okay, well,
it's a great place, but the wall deco just didn't match. There was a lot of, no one cares about that. It wasn't really modernized, or
yeah, exactly.
What surprised me though, $4,000 an hour.
And that's the thing. I didn't look up the pricing on this, which I kind of wish I did. I just didn't know. I didn't necessarily want my Google history.
Yeah, to have. No, I get it.
No, I know. I don't think she'd care if I told her why, but it's just funny because it's like, your wife's going through and like, hey, look, you really priced this out. Was it worth it?
I'm like, hey, so why are you paying $4,000 for an hour of action when you have a wife and 2 kids and there's rent due next week?
I really want to use this guy's whole name.
What is it?
Because he put his whole name.
Why?
Like, I feel like if you're going to do that, I have a right to read it.
Maybe it's an alias.
Maybe. I mean, he doesn't have a profile picture. Not a surprise.
Yeah.
But why would you put your whole name? So I'm not going to, I no, because what if he's a psycho, right? We gotta be smart.
Okay, first and initial.
Ooh, So should I read his full last name and do the initial first name, or just do the opposite? Because I was gonna go
Uh,
first name. Because I
no,
think
I
you
think
kind of got to know the first name more than the last name.
yeah, first name and maybe last initial.
Oh, also, we didn't do our thing. So I read Leah, but what kind of person are we thinking Leah is here? Let's see.
Oh,
Let's read it. I'll read it again.
okay.
The girls were not what you would expect. They closed very early on the weekend, and I wouldn't pay $4,000 an hour to hang out with anyone. However, beautiful property, and the staff is very nice and professional.
Hmm. Well, first off, I feel like she's super picky.
Yeah.
But again, if you're paying $4,000 an hour for the company of somebody, I think you're allowed to be picky.
Yeah.
Um, I guess no. I still go back to picky though, because like, who would if you go into this type of a establishment, who would look at like the wall decoration and like the property?
I guess to sound ignorant, a woman.
Yeah, yeah. I think you nailed it on that one.
Yeah. I mean, girls notice stuff like that. I mean, guys do
Yeah,
too. But unless you're like a contractor or like some kind of like, designer or architect or
yeah.
something that deals with stuff like that, you're probably not just going to be, it's not going to be the first thing that jumps in your mind when you're
No, absolutely
trying to get
not.
laid.
No, why?
We
Why
got
would
one
it
thing
be?
on our mind pretty much when we're ready for that.
It's all we. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go in there,
It's survival. That's why we do it. It's to survive
yeah.
and procreate. So our instincts are like, get in, get out, and don't look at the wallpaper.
Well, I'm thinking that what was her name again? Leah.
Leah.
Leah. I feel like she is a married woman
Yeah.
who wants to explore.
Now, is
She.
she a straight married woman?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so, and she's like trying to, um, like try new boundaries or explore things that maybe she always had doubt. Obviously, maybe she's like older or something. Well, obviously she's older, but I think she wants fulfillment because she's saying, "Oh, I wouldn't spend $4,000 for the company of none of these women."
Yeah.
So obviously, like she just wants somebody to talk to. She doesn't want to full on be involved with like a relationship. She's probably done with men. She's like, well, maybe I want the company of a woman to like make me feel special
Yeah. I mean, that's true. And help
and no
her
strings attached kind
and,
of thing.
and someone who thinks like she does, right?
Yeah.
I'll say this too. Reading her review, very good punctuation. Um,
Oh.
Really well written review. I mean, everything is proper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of a weird grammar Nazi, but I normally don't
Mm-hmm.
say anything out loud, but in my head, I'm just like, it irks me.
Yeah.
But I'm like looking at this and I'm like, wow, respectable.
Like,
But
oh.
I got a funny theory with her, actually. I feel like she is somewhat of a bitter voyeur slash cuck, maybe. And
Mm.
normally women aren't cucks. Normally men are. And they,
Yeah.
like the whole theory or the definition of that. It's basically like someone who gets off watching someone else do
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
partner, which is usually a man. I'm sure that it goes both ways, but it's typically I've noticed it's normally a dude. So I'm assuming she's a girl version of this, and she was like, she was content with her husband banging someone else, but then because she had to watch it, she wasn't happy with what she was watching, and she was just like, it's not that she was appalled. I genuinely think she was disappointed with the girl because it even
Yeah.
says here the girls were not what you would expect. She doesn't elaborate whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Closed very early on the weekend. Also, like, how late were you getting there? I mean, it's just
Yeah, that's a good question.
good
And why would he
grammar and
be?
everything, but left out a lot of details about the actual experience itself.
Yeah.
A little vague for a 1 star. I feel like you got to have an exact reason, right?
Yeah.
And
You
she
have to be more
did, but
specific.
she just didn't really go into any of it. And it's like, I feel like if you're going to try and shit on someone's business, you got to try a little harder.
Yeah, and just like B, what part was it? Was it just the reason you gave it 1 star was because to close early on the weekends?
Yeah, like,
Like how?
right. But
What were
the
you expecting? Like, or what time were you
But
expecting
the
it to be
ambiance was
open?
great.
Yeah, well, that's what I understand. Like, you're closing early on the weekends, but you still talk
Like
to
and like
like,
what's early though, you know?
yeah,
Like maybe
like,
I should just do a quick Google search.
because here's the thing though, with those locations, I'm assuming they will close later. Like, I'm assuming they get the rush like after 9 or 10 p.m.
Well, but during oh, okay, what? Oh, Friday hours, 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But she did say weekend. She did disclose weekend.
Yeah.
And by the way, don't get confused with the Mustang Ranch sandwich shop, which by the way
Okay.
was the first review I pulled up, and I got excited because I'm all brothels on Yelp, and it is in Sparks, Nevada, very close to the actual Mustang Ranch.
Yeah.
A little
Oh,
confusing there.
maybe they're sister companies.
I like that, sister companies. Um, you know what? Let's just say they close at 10, because
Okay.
I'm not, I actually wanted to move on to one quick other one on this because this was the standout.
Yeah.
This is our boy Floyd over here from 5 months ago. He writes, "Nope, I'll never pay for it. I have too many
Yeah.
rubber dolls interested in me. They even
Mm.
argue over me sometimes. Couldn't have it any better."
Wow. Okay. Well, wow. Okay. Obviously, this man's lonely. Um, has a lot of money in his hand.
Or his
Um,
doll's hand.
yeah.
Dolls, sorry, dolls.
A lot of dolls who fight for over him, and he rather go with that.
Argue over him too. Like,
Yeah.
so they talk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Mustang Ranch and out in Nevada and by the Reno area. Don't let this man inside your facility.
Oh,
It's red
dude,
flags all
it's
over.
too late. If you go into Reno downtown past 10 o'clock, it gets weird.
Down at Virginia Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, wait, Virginia's the one that the Peppermill and Atlantis are on, right?
It's the main street, so it's like
Oh,
all
that's
of them
right. Yeah,
are.
yeah, that's the main
Is
strip. I usually don't fuck with the main strip. I go to the Pep. I like the
Yeah, me too.
Peppermill
The Peppermill.
or the
Um,
Atlantis because it's a little off, and I feel like all the crackheads like you get
yeah,
vagrants anywhere, but downtown the Greyhound station's there.
yeah.
It's just a hobo city, dude, and I'm just like I'm good.
I've stayed at the Peppermill
Mhm.
several times. I also have stayed at the Circus um once, and that was cool. That was we got a suite. Yeah, that was sweet. Um, but yeah, like I think it's the same street. It's that still Virginia Street. It's
Yeah,
just there's like a north and then there's like a South Virginia.
you're right, and I think
Um,
yeah. No,
yeah,
it's definitely Virginia. I know that's right.
yeah. But yeah, I like the peppermint, and yeah, it's a little bit more. It's more. It's bigger. The casinos are definitely bigger because it's just by himself out there.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Atlantis though. Never been.
It's like right. I think it's in the same parking lot
Okay.
as the Peppermill. It's literally. It's like there's only two. They're like right next to each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's cool. It's chill. It's got like a big card, like a tall card room.
Okay.
It looks a little bit more like it. Like I feel like the Peppermill kind of gives me like more of a Vegas vibe, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
or like old Vegas vibe. The Peppermill,
Yeah,
like
because
Fremont Street kind
the
of.
neon style that
Yeah,
it
and it's
looks like.
kind of it's not like hella high ceilings. It's kind of like
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little squished, but it's like I don't know. It's not claustrophobic. It's just different.
Let me ask you this, Coop, because I'm not sure if you remember, but I know in Vegas there's the peppermint
Oh, the Spearmint Rhino,
peppermill
right?
the diner.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, the Peppermill Diner.
Yeah. Is there also one in Reno, or is just they share the same name but different? But no.
Hmm. Potentially, I don't know, cause
I can't remember.
I wonder if it's even the same company.
Yeah,
Probably, right?
I can't remember. But I do like Reno. Reno's a cool little city. I used to love going to the Little Nugget, I believe it was called,
Oh,
or
John Esquaga. It used to be called John Esquaga's Nugget. Now it's the Golden Nugget.
Yeah, but it's like a little small little
Yeah,
like
right off the
casino,
freeway.
and all the way in the back there's like that restaurant called the Awful Burger.
Oh, the awful, right?
Yeah. Oh fuck, I love that burger, dude.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's a
gotta
pretty
go
good
back.
burger. Yeah, dude. There's some gems in Reno.
It's like $8 for like a pound of fucking French fries and like this really freaking
That
amazing
is the
burger.
plus about like casino food is like it's like they're raping you left and right. So they're like, all right, we'll give you a deal on the food.
Yeah, here. At least you're gonna go home with
Your
the full
your
stomach.
marriage is failing. The kids are gonna leave, but $8 prime rib.
Yeah. Hey. Well, speaking about foods, do you mind if I talk about my Lone Star review?
No, no, dude, please, please.
So there's a little backstory behind this. So last week I just really, really wanted like a deep dish style pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not sure why. I've just been talking about it. I'm like, fuck, I really want deep dish style. So we're like, oh, let's go to Pachi's. Um, there's one over here. I'm like, nah, dude, let's. There has to be something else. There has to be a new place. So we look up on Yelp, or we look, Google it, and Pizza Chicago comes up,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, no, that can't be true because Pizza Chicago in downtown, like next to Caravan and like behind the old Greyhound station, I'm like, no, that closed like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
And there was one in Santa Clara, said like a restaurant in Santa Clara, and then there's saying there's no one in San Jose, and I'm like, I don't know. I placed the order. I placed an order for a deep dish. It's just pepperoni with cheese and a deep dish like combination, the fridge, if you will.
right.
And we go, my brother and my cousin, we pick it up. And I was expecting, first off, like it was like a warehouse where like a bunch of kitchens and like these restaurants just rent out the kitchens, and
Yeah,
there's mostly for like Grubhub and like DoorDash and shit, so you can just go pick it up, deliver it. And it was cool for me because I'm like, okay, it's just gonna be pick up anyway. So I went. I guess strike one was when I went there. They couldn't find my order.
oof.
And then homie in the front office or in the in the lobby was like, all right, he's like, here, let me just check with the let me check with them. It's like we'll be right back. Lo and behold, yeah. He came back with the two pizzas like after like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, no biggie. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Went home. I'm like excited. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, deep dish style pizza. I'm so excited. Dude, they were not deep dish style.
Oh,
They were
damn.
like
You gotta check
they,
that shit before you leave.
they were like pan. It was like a pan at the very, and I'm
Were they
like,
even the right pizza?
yeah, it was a combo one
So they
and a
fucked your order
pepperoni.
up. It wasn't they gave you the wrong one.
Yeah, they fucked up. And I mean, you've been to Pizza Chicago before,
Yeah.
right? And it's a deep dish Chicago style. Like it's like because I
Yeah.
remember
It's
we
like a
had to eat it with
pie.
like a fork. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
pie. I can show you pictures. I can email you pictures of how they were because I was so and I hate complaining about food, but I called. I called. I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, you guys fucked up my order. I'm like, I ordered deep dish. I got pan, and they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, here, yeah, here's my fucking number. I took pictures of the pizza. And they're like, all right, well, we'll call you back like in 10 minutes. Or like, we'll call you right back. We got to
Yeah.
figure it out. They call me back and they're like, whoa, they say they made the right pizza for you. I'm like, I'm like,
That's
no, they didn't.
crazy. Because you're literally
I'm like,
telling them they didn't, though.
yeah, I'm like, no, it's not, dude. And they're like, whoa, we can only offer you like a $25 credit. And I'm like, I paid, because that shit's expensive, dude. Like, Pizza Chicago was expensive.
Yeah.
For like two pies and
Probably like 50, $60, maybe.
so yeah, we got two pies and like some jalapeno poppers. It came out to $75.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what the fuck you mean $25? Like that's not even like I'm expecting at least
Third.
half of my
Yeah.
money back, or I'm expecting us to remake my fucking
Well, it's
pizza.
weird, too, because they're not even giving you cash. They're just giving you money to spend with them again.
Yeah. Oh no, they were gonna like refund. I'm sorry.
Oh, they were? Oh,
they were gonna
okay.
refund. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was going to say, I'm like, just give them, like, all of it. Like,
I'm
especially if
like,
you can
dude,
buy it again.
I'm all, dude, this is messed up. I'm like, no, well, we did made, well, I wasn't talking directly to Pizza Chicago. I was talking to like the third party or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So that
And they're like,
guy's.
oh, well, that's what they say. But he's like, but it's a new, it's a new restaurant, maybe new, or like they just reopened again. So maybe like their cooks got confused or something.
Yeah,
I'm not
blame
saying
everyone else.
I'm not saying that's unexcusable. So from being 25, I think I got like $40 back. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
just never gonna come back again. So
Right.
so I was pissed off, and I was gonna write a review about it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Whatever. Fuck them. I'm not. Let them be. Demise. But when we were looking review for this, I saw one, and there's 2 1-star reviews in the last month. Like one is 26 days ago,
Yeah.
and one is 1 month ago. So obviously, I'm not the only problem.
Right.
But I'm gonna go with the first one, and this was Gabriella. And this is on Yelp, 1-star review 26 days ago. She says customer service was horrible. I didn't get to talk to customer service. I talked to third party people.
Yeah.
I have been coming here for 15 years, and the person who cooked my order was rude and did not seem to be having a good day. I had noticed that the last 2 pizzas. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. I have noticed that the last 2 times that I have ordered pizza, that the quality of the pizza has gone down and it tastes very different. They seem to have new staff and cooks. I will not be returning at this place. At this place. It's a disappointing, soggy pizza and bad service. And so I'm reading that and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Like, it's a new staff. They have no idea what the fudge they're doing. And like the quality is just gone down. And it's just like, I hate when people try to act like you're trying to scheme them. I think that's what pisses me off the most,
Oh
dude.
yeah, like how the guy was talking to you, like he was like, "What? They made it right." It's like, no,
Yeah,
that's
like,
you're not
oh,
even
well,
trying
they
to
say they made
listen.
it. Oh, they say they got it right, and I'm like, I don't know, bro. I'm looking at what they made, and it doesn't look right.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Either
I
way,
just,
like even if you're wrong, it's like not very good customer service because you're trying to get if you're not if your goal isn't to make them happy, your goal is at least to shut them up and get them out of there,
yeah,
which means
and
resolve it some way.
the thing that pissed me off the most, though, dude, is like, yeah, I hate the fact that they acted like I was trying to get away with something, like get away with free food or something.
Yeah,
But then like I'm like, no, like I'm just saying you guys fucked up my order.
yeah.
Like it wasn't deep dish. So like the guy who the third party guy was amazing. He was a good guy. He was like, because he's like, well, he's like, to be honest, dude, like they're new, they might be, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm sorry, like we're gonna give you this discount. I'm like, all right, well, we can do 40. I'm like, all right, whatever. And he goes, do you mind if you send me like pictures of the pizza so we can like,
Mm-hmm.
if this happens again, we can tell him like, hey, this is the complaints they're getting.
Right.
And yeah, I emailed him. So I emailed him a picture of my receipt, and I even circled where it said deep dish.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sent a picture of the 2 pizzas. And then I also added, and I even put in the email like, hey, for reference purposes, this is what this is what some Yelpers have put under your guys' pizza deep dish. And also, this is a quick Google search of when you put, deep dish style pizza, this is what comes up. Just to like, you're
Yeah.
not gonna fucking pull like, oh, this is deep dish, or this is, or and I hate when they're like, well, this is our version. I'm like, no, then don't call yourself
Uh,
fucking Pizza Chicago if it's not gonna be Chicago version deep dish.
yeah, exactly. You want the accolades, but you don't want to get the reputation on your own. You just want to ride what they already built. Like you don't want
Yeah,
to
dude.
maintain. It's ridiculous.
But anyways,
I
that's
def
my 1-star review.
I definitely think Gabriella, maybe I think Gabriella is Danny. I think
Oh no,
Danny's alias is Gabriella for his 1-star reviews,
they're on to me.
and I kind of like it. I think one, I if I had to come up with a female name for myself, I don't know, it would
Would
be
be
as
Gabriella.
classy, but
Gabriella's a pretty solid one. I probably will
it's not
go with the
bad.
more
You
generic
could be
one.
Gabby. It's not a bad
Yeah,
nickname.
that's not a bad one.
Call you
Gab.
Gab, the Gab,
Yeah,
gift
the
of Gab,
Gabster,
the Gabber.
the Gabber. Uh oh, here comes the Gabber. Here comes Gabby.
That's like
Gabbering along.
that's like not a good name for a guy that, like with street cred, because then everyone's gonna think you're a snitch,
The
right?
gabber.
Gabber doesn't sound like a guy that like isn't gabbing like talking.
I don't know kids these days
I
with
don't know.
their
Just
lingo.
trying to I'm trying to get some of my Caucasian nomenclature down. That's all. Um,
Gabbing. I
and
don't
speaking
know.
of gabbing, nah, it's not much of a segue, but the next segment we're gonna do is interaction with kids and how it benefits us. You wanna take this baby for the reign since I went first on the other one?
Yeah, dude. So, we were yesterday when we were setting up for this for to record this episode, my niece came in. And rather than like kicking her out or anything, like, oh yeah, hey, I
Mhm.
acknowledged that she was there, answer questions. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is your deal, Coop, blah blah blah. And she's like, hey, Coop, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, I gotta go finish talking to my buddy, but I'll go talk to you in a minute.
Yeah.
And she always does this thing where she always like she knows I'll be teaching, so she comes in and she'll say hi. And I rather keep. I mean, I can kick her out or lock the door so come in, but I don't want her to like. I don't like. There's no need. It's only like 1 year she's gonna do this, and then she's
Yeah.
never gonna do this again.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna realize what's going on. She's gonna go freaking preschool or whatever. So
Exactly.
I'm like, why am I gonna get mad for her for just being a kid and being courteous and like she knows she's on camera, so
Mhm.
why like take away that spark? So might as well just keep her in there. And she always comes over like, dude, like I'll come over, or I'll be in my room, listening to music or playing whatever, and she'll come over and she'll just like chill. And I'll be playing like a record, it'll be like fucking death metal or something.
Yeah.
And she'll just be here chilling, playing on her phone or playing on my Nintendo Switch, which is basically hers. She still no fucking plays it.
Yeah.
Um and yeah,
That's
dude,
pretty
I'm just
sweet.
like, it's awesome. It's awesome that she's growing that percentage, that she seems interested, because I feel like that's what a lot of people want with these kids. And I just like to allow her to explore different outlets of stuff.
Yeah.
Like really quickly, just a quick story about her. So we were all down in Mexico, and when I was in Mexico, I took one of my Misfits shirts.
Mhm.
And whatever, she's familiar with the skull and she's seen it on my phone and shit, so no
Right.
biggie. I'm back, and I guess her and my niece, and my niece is 4, and my sister are walking, and she goes to my sister and she goes, Nina, because that's her godmother. So she goes,
Uh-huh.
oh, Nina, how come that guy is wearing Danny's shirt? And
Mhm.
my sister goes, we're talking like, he's wearing Danny's shirt, the skull, that's Danny's shirt.
Yeah.
And it took my sister you know, like a second or two to realize, oh, he's wearing a Misfits shirt.
Yeah.
And she associated the shirt with like, it was my shirt only. And she only
Yeah.
thought I was the only one who had that fucking shirt,
That's pretty sick.
So
It's
yeah, so
exclusive.
my sister told me that story, and right there and then I'm like, I gotta get her a shirt. So I ordered her a Misfits shirt.
Mhm.
And when they came in, I told them like, hey, I got you a surprise. And I got her the Misfits shirt, and then I ordered the same one, but like, for big boys for
Yeah.
my size. So we have matching Misfits shirts, and she was head over heels for it.
That's
She was head over
awesome.
heels. She loves it. And I ended up ordering her a Iron Maiden one also. That one's gonna come in during the week. So
Nice.
yeah, because she always sees me listening to Iron Maiden. She points at the Iron Maiden beer. She goes, "Hey, who's that skeleton?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Eddie." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's well, no, he's a good guy. He's a nice guy." So I'll see like Iron Maiden on my computer, and she'll come over and she goes like, "Oh, and that's Eddie. I know
I
him.
know.
Like,
It's
I
super
party with
cool.
that guy." Yeah,
It's cool when you know they're like retaining what you're telling them.
yeah,
You're like, "Oh, you actually are listening." That's cool.
yeah, and they associate it. So it's funny because she'll be in the car and I'll be like blasting, God knows what,
Yeah.
Kill Switch or like all that shit. And she's just there chilling. she'll kind of like bob her head. So she's digging it, and of course her mom like hates it because she wanted her to be like, she's like, I swear, Danny, if she turns to like a goth, kid, I'm gonna hate you. I'm like, I'll fucking love her.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want her to be.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is no matter what you want for your kids, they're gonna do what they are gonna do or what they want to do. So
Yeah,
good luck with that.
yeah.
Plus, you're the
So
uncle. You're supposed to kind of do you're like it's similar to a grandparent. You could just spoil them and hang out,
exactly.
you know. And besides, like you said, there's only so long before she's not gonna want to have you as like a playmate or going to
Hmm.
be as interested in talking to you about stuff. I mean, she still will be because you're always going to be older than her and she's going to look up to you. But it's true. Kids' priorities change as they develop when they're young because, this week she cares about what's going on in your studio. Next week she's going to want to go outside and hang out with her friends. Who knows?
Yeah. So I might as well just like let her grow that curiosity and continue her to be curious and like
Right.
not be scared to ask questions or like see what it is. Cause I can easily like she can easily come in and be like, what are you doing? And be like, oh, leave me alone, whatever. And then boom, I just like shut her down.
Yeah.
Um but like she knows whenever like when she comes into the studio here and she sees that I have my backdrop, she knows, oh, he's recording. I can't
Hmm.
interrupt him right now.
So, I mean,
Um
yeah, even though she's like 4, she still is aware of things.
yeah, and she knows exactly what's going on. And then like but when the backdrop isn't on there, she's like, oh, okay, I can come in.
Yeah.
Like she knows. And like, yeah, just with the whole art, she's always been like interested in it. Like, even if it's like in my brother's room with like his pianos and shit or his guitar, like she'll play. Or
Right.
my brother used to like set up the microphone so she can hear her voice. So like they'll be like, oh, like talk to the microphone, and she'll like, she'll be like, hi or whatever, and then she'll be like, like hearing her voice like coming through speakers,
Yeah.
amplified and stuff. Like for her, it
Hella
was like, oh my god,
excited.
and it's just like it continues her curiosity. So I'm like, of course, I want her to like continue curiosity and to learn and
Yeah.
to, that's what we drive for.
Don't lose the magic that is being young or a child.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really have a much different feeling. For me, I tuck my kid in every night. My youngest, he sleeps early, so I don't put him to bed. But once he gets older, I'm gonna put them both down. But I put my son down, and about 8 o'clock, 8:30, he's in bed, brush his teeth. But what's cool is I gotta read him a story.
Mm-hmm.
So man, we've gone through so many books, which is awesome. But I went on eBay like I went on eBay the last week of December, and I bought about 20 Arthur books for
Mm-hmm.
like $10 or something. And kids' books are really expensive because
Yeah.
we went to Barnes and Noble like a week before that, and then, or no, like a week after or so, and then I was like, geez, like it's cool to get these used because kids are so rough on some of these books anyway, like those young books and the young kids. So it's like you might as well try and get them used because, I mean, your kid's gonna be like,
Gonna rip it or like draw
yeah.
on it.
And but the cool thing is like watch. He enjoys listening, and I feel like kids enjoy the comfort of of a active listener, and especially since he's like trying to get ready to go to sleep. It's a nice time because he's like somewhat at peace. He's not all like amped
Mm-hmm.
up and in a funky mood. But one thing I definitely noticed too, because when I was before fall, I really started making I make sure I don't use my phone much around my kids.
Mm-hmm.
But also what I've been wanting to do is like, your kid's always asking you something, and then sometimes you don't even realize that you don't even look up, and you just respond because that's kind of
Yeah.
how we are as adults. But it's really, really important for you to acknowledge kids when they talk and to give them eye contact because two reasons. Like, it's a respect thing. Like, regardless of how old someone is, you should always give them respect. And then the other thing too is you're teaching your kids how to act. So you want to make sure you're doing things the right way. So in 10 years, they don't have to redo all this shit on their own.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's such an easy thing. And the kids get so much joy out of just quality time too. Like you could see it in their eyes, and then that's what makes it
Yeah.
special to you. Cause like you said, Danny, like in a year, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
So we got to seize the day and seize the moments with this. Cause it's time is fleeting. And, like it's good to know that we're all on the same page with that. Cause it's like, we're so caught up with our own crap and the phones. It's like,
Yeah.
man, we gotta change up because we're setting an example for the next generation. So
My my mom once said, because my parents, I should say, just baby the hell out of Olivia. Of course, just the first grandchild. It's just the baby in the house
mhm.
since like forever, you know.
Yeah,
So of course, like she's the baby, everybody babies her, everybody loves her. My dad, my mom loves her they treat her amazing. So whenever like they feel like Juan, oh my brother, I should say, is like being a little bit too rough on her,
yeah,
or like too like disciplined, like of course they'd be like, oh no, she's just a child, you need to be blah blah blah.
yeah,
And there's been many occasions where like I remember this one time Juan goes, or my brother goes, what the hell? Like, what was your compassion when we were young? Like, you used to beat my ass, blah, 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 you used to beat my ass down,
yeah,
whatever. And my mom goes, yeah. And we cannot take that back. But now it's just like, yeah, but we can take that back. And now we can set things right with with our grandchild. It's like a second chance.
yeah.
And I remember that like back, I'm like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like, my parents were young, they
Right,
were adults. They weren't, they didn't have their shit together. Now that they're older, they can reflect. I'm like, yeah, maybe we can, or maybe when they're seeing from a different perspective, not that, it's a child that they love, but it's not their own, like they're trying to
right.
baby her. So I'm like, I always thought that was interesting what my mom said. Like, this is our second chance to do things right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, God damn you, mom.
Yo,
Tell
man,
it to my,
good timing.
yeah, damn it, mom. Tell it to my therapist. you know,
By the way, free sessions are up. I need some money.
yeah. The fuck, mom. Like, my insurance ain't paying for no more, mom. But yeah, dude, it's like I think is we just need to encourage them to, like, the kids, and like give them the attention, give them
Mm-hmm.
the, make the eye contact, acknowledge them, and
Yeah.
like when my niece, that's what I know is when my niece comes from school, from preschool, we're all like, hey Olivia, how was school? And she's like, at first, she's like, "Oh, I did this, and blah blah blah." But like, of course, like her mom will ask her that question, my brother will ask her that question, my parents will
Yeah.
ask her a question, they ask her a question. By the time like my sister gets home, like at 5 or something, hey Olivia, how was school? She's like, it was fine. Like she was so
Yeah.
like she
Like
gets
she's
so
answered it
annoyed.
20 times.
Yeah, she's like so annoyed, and we're like,
That's
and she's like,
hilarious.
geez, but we're like at first she's super excited, but then towards the end she's like, it was fine, leave me alone.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
it was just funny, but I mean, it's whatever. Like, at least she knows that we're acknowledging her, and she knows that we want to know how her school or her class went and
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
And she's the only one in the house who has she has free range to any room that she wants. She can go into any room at any time and sleep there, or just hang out there. She has full access to the house. She has the keys to the house.
Wow.
A little 4-year-old.
That's
Like,
crazy.
she like she'll go into my parents' room, and if like my dad's already like laying down, it's like it'll be like 10 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and my dad's like already asleep. She'll just walk in, get in bed with my dad, like be on his phone or be on her phone, and just hang out there until like 11 or 12, and then she's like, all right, and she'll leave to her room.
Yeah, she just wanted some company.
She has like free range, and that's cool. Like, again, I know this is only temporary. I know she's probably when she gets older, she's gonna not want to do that. But
Yeah.
we encourage her because we love her.
Oh yeah. Got to keep that love going. Um, I also had another segment for this week that we both kind of agreed that was cool. Trips that heal you with the power of quality time. You know, like
Yeah,
it's kind of going on this theme here with quality time. But
yeah.
uh, you know, I've been planning a road trip that I want to do to Colorado. I'm still trying to figure that out. I got this giant atlas, you know, off Amazon for two
Yeah,
reasons. Like I'm blind as a bat, and then the other reason is like, you know, it could be a souvenir when you like draw on it and
yeah.
make your routes, right? So I was like, that's cool. That's a good idea. But like I said earlier, you know, in the pod, I said, you know, my grandpa came and we've been hanging out since Sunday, and it's kind of perfect because he's probably gonna end up staying through the Super Bowl, which is perfect because he can just
Oh, that'd
hang
be
out with
awesome.
us.
Yeah.
But my grandpa was born in Idaho, and they moved to Lodi when he was 5.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so from the age of 5 to about 18, he was in the city of Lodi, and you know, working on the farm when he was you know, I mean, God, I don't know, probably before or maybe like when he was 3 or 4, and then you know, farm life, and then he moved out and went to college and moved to the Bay. But I wanted to take him out there because he's got a sister and a younger sister who was about 4 when he moved out. So, you know, they spend more time together now, but you know, that's I'm like, she's your only sister that lives there still. And so it was my day off Thursday, and Steph had a pretty good idea on like Tuesday. I thought, man, I want to. Well, Papa's here this week, so we can go do something. But then she's all, you should take him to Lodi. I know. I was like, dude, how should come up with all these ideas? But I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's perfect. And then I told him about it, and he was like super. His face kind of lit up because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like he's also the type of person that's not going to ask.
Yeah.
So I think he was happy it worked in his favor without him having to ask. And
Yeah.
that generation's just, they don't like asking for things, and
They're
so it
very
was,
stubborn.
yeah. But they don't, they're stubborn, and but they don't want to it's definitely a lost art. Like no one's
Mm-hmm.
like this really anymore, but they don't want to burden people, and I feel like people now don't give a shit anymore. But
Yeah. They're more selfish nowadays.
exactly. So I was like, man, this would be a really good trip and bonding time, and I've been wanting some quality time with him because, you know, it's been a rough few years, and we haven't been
Mm-hmm.
able to just kind of like do stuff. And then with COVID this year, I was like, screw it, let's go. Um, it's 45 minutes from Tracy, so we went to his first farm that was 50 acres in Lockford, which is only like 2 minutes away from Lodi. But
Mm-hmm.
we went in there, and we are driving, and it's private property, and my grandpa doesn't give a shit. But I was like, all right. I was like, should we go in farther? Because I think we're good here. Because we went through like 3 paths to get, like, there's all these houses, so we're basically in the thick of someone's property.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I'm like, you know, I'm like, these people have guns, and if we drive too far, like, I'm just once I hear a warning shot, I'm leaving. But
Yeah.
he's like, no, we'll be fine, and he was right. But at the same time, you know, if it wasn't COVID, we could have probably went in, knocked on the door, and said, hey, you know, my grandpa used to live here. Is it cool if like you can even accompany us, like if we just kind of like
Mm.
walk around and see like what's changed, if they're cool, if you're cool with that, you know. But
Yeah.
since it's like a pandemic, I was like, man, I don't think anyone's trying to deal with that shit, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
was all, let's just you know, look around, take pictures, and then, you know, just take off. So it was cool because, man, on what was used to be a 50-acre land with just one like build or barn and then a house, it's like now there's like 8 different houses.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are just huge, and it's just things change. But um, we also ate lunch, which was cool, at the A&W, which I didn't know A&W was founded in Lodi, California.
Really?
I
I
did not
didn't
know
know that
that.
either.
I learned that 1911 A&W was founded in Lodi. I thought
Such
they
an
were
underrated spot too.
Lodi
Yeah.
or
The A and
A&W.
W
Yeah.
burger. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna get into as well. We had the Papa Burger. Oh, dude,
Mm-hmm.
Papa Burger's bomb. Oh, A&W. First of all, is like my favorite root beer from like um the big root beer companies for sure. I
Right.
think it's just the best tasting for me. So like it was cool because I'm like, man, it's like brought me back. You know, we had a root beer, and I don't drink soda much anymore. But we
Mm-hmm.
had our burgers, we had our root beer. You know, we got to spend like 3 hours with his sister, and um, his brother-in-law gave me and him a tour of his cars. He's got like a '56 Chevy wagon, and then he's got a 1914 Model T Ford.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I
Oh yeah.
mean, dude, he also has this Lincoln convertible that he got his family crest painted on the back and monogrammed on the leather seats.
What?
Like
That's dope. What year is the Lincoln? Like
it's
60? The convertible?
19 no, it's old. It's like 19 oh, not 40. 40 was a I want to say like maybe 50 something.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was kind of old. Dude, he had a 57 Chevy. He sold that though. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, that would have been cool to see, you know? But
Yeah.
like then he had an old Ford Taxi, which was had one of the old fucking fat horns where you go and just goes burr, burr, like literally the
Yeah.
noise it makes. It's like, dude, that's so dope. But then towards the end, he was like, my buddy has a 1967 GTO. Do you want to see that? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So he takes me to this back area, and it's 1967 GTO with this like, it's like my favorite blue on an old car, kind of a
Like a
light
surf.
blue pearl mixed with like kind of a not turquoise, but like kind of it's like the perfect classic blue.
I believe. Yeah.
It's kind of
A-
sky blue mixed with like pearl a little bit.
And I know that blue because I think if it's the same blue I'm thinking about, it's like the same one that the dudes from Blink-182 used to have their guitars. The
Yeah, kind
common
of like
law. I believe it's called
yeah,
surf
yeah.
blue.
I think you're right because the other option would be like the mint, the
Yeah, sea
green mint.
foam, sea
Oh, that's what they
foam.
call it, seafoam green or whatever, right?
Yeah, and then the one you're talking about, I think is called shit. I just went blank of what it's just called it right now. Seafoam, and the other one. Fuck, what was that blue? I just said and I completely went blank on it.
I did too.
Fuck, ADD to the fucking
ADD squared because I didn't help you.
wow, shit. I
Well,
can't
it
believe
takes two to forget something.
the seafoam green. Oh my god, I feel like a freaking idiot. But I wow, I can't believe I went. I said the name and then I completely forgot what's the name. Um,
Bollywood blue.
no, what's the Bollywood blue?
I know.
Close. I know Seafoam. Okay, here it is. Seafoam, I want to say it's the green one. And
Yeah.
then the blue one is, of course, it's not
Balls
fucking.
deep blue. It's got to be a real color.
Sure.
There's a million colors out there.
Sure. At this point, let's just call it. Oh, there's like a million here.
I forgot.
They call it Daphne. But also
Daphne.
Daphne, but that's not what I said. I said a different color.
Yeah.
Um,
But either way, yeah, I mean that's pretty
yeah,
much the
you
blue.
got it.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
classic like very 50s kind of style, right? The colors they
Yeah.
use for cars.
Yeah.
Which was funny cuz then everything was kind of dull and then you had red. It was still candy apple red though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then after we did the tour with his brother-in-law and we had lunch with them, we said our goodbyes and then we were going to probably head back, but I knew there was a couple more spots he wanted to go to, so we wanted to check out his parents' old spot when they sold the farm. They moved to another place in Lodi, and then we drove past that, and then I took him to a park in Lodi, and God, I had the name of it and I kind of forgot it. It's a super cool park. That's why I'm gonna look it up. Have it. Come on, phone. It is called Mickey Grove Park. It also has
Okay,
a zoo there, a zoo. It has a zoo there, but it's got like hundreds of oak trees that are probably 80 plus years old. So they're super
that's
matured,
awesome. Yeah.
very lush, well kept place. When we first got there, I was a little surprised because you think Lodi, you don't think you're gonna have to pay for a park. When it was like it was $5, but I'm like we
For
weren't making a big
parking or
deal. five
something or
bucks for a
what?
car, not a big deal.
Yeah.
And that well, if you pay, that means it's probably maintained, and it was beautiful. And the guy
Mm-hmm.
even said it was cool because my grandpa hadn't been there in 50 plus years. And then
Yeah.
the guy even said, it was like, oh, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, oh, we're just chilling. We're just hanging out. And he's like, oh, well, I'm asking because the zoo's open and hasn't been open in over a year.
You're
And
right.
today it's open. So we were like, oh, that's really cool. Well, let's go check it out. Like we get in there and then we're like, you know what? We get to the zoo area and we're like, you know what? We don't need to go to the zoo. Like let's bring the kids to the zoo. So
Yeah.
then I said, let's go Saturday, which is tomorrow. We're gonna go. So
Mhm.
we're gonna go back out there and take the kids to the zoo.
Oh, they'll love
Um,
it.
yeah, it's gonna be great. And the thing that's cool too is, so we said screw it, but there's so many benches and tables out there. So
Hmm.
he's like, well, we could just sit out here, and I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. So we got to sit out there, and I'm like, this is the perfect point because I packed my Zoom recorder and my mics, my cables, and my headphones. I said I wanted to do an interview with my
Hmm.
grandpa because he's 82 and our time spent together is so valuable and precious. So I'm like I want to immortalize a
Right.
conversation because if I could have done something like this with my mom, it would have been really really cool.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is a perfect opportunity. I said, okay, cool. I'm gonna go get the stuff. I run to the car. I'm like, okay, screw this. He's not going to want to hold a mic. I said, screw the mics. The cool thing about the Zoom is it has a multi-directional like condenser.
Hmm.
It's like one goes, it's like XY. So
Right.
when you put it in between you and the person you're talking to, you have to move it very little to pick up both of you talking, which is great.
Yeah.
So I used that. I had my headphones on just so I could hear, make sure the levels were good. And then I literally, me and him had about an hour conversation that I recorded, and it started covering with stuff as simple as like his early life, what he's interested in, sports he played, and then we went as deep as talking about my mom's passing and
Right.
how that was on him, and us kind of talking and venting about things, and it was really nice. Probably one of the best days off I've ever had, or one of the best days I've had in a long, long time. So
Right.
it was really, really good, and just I value quality time so much because these moments that we build with this quality time are milestones and moments that we cherish later on and we keep with us. And
Yeah.
it's those moments that help us build more with others and keep our mental state and the people we're hanging out with up as well. So I'm super thankful that he was down and we did that. And I feel like people need to kind of detach. I mean, the only thing I used my phone for that day was to take pictures, and I didn't
Hmm.
read text messages. I didn't go on the internet, and we were out from 9 to about 5:30. I got back home about 5:30. So it was a good 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't, it was quality time. It wasn't bullshit on my phone. It was nothing. Like it was just, I recommend that for so many people. I think we really need to try and detach from these anchors and
Yeah.
shit that we call our phones and just really spend some time, quality time with people. Like if you don't want to do it in person, you don't have to. You can do a
And I
Zoom
mean,
call. You can call them up on the phone. You can FaceTime them. You can
yeah.
Facebook Messenger, video chat if you don't have Apple. Like, there's so many options, and we just need to stop making excuses and just do it.
And I mean, first off, that must be like so awesome being able to experience this with your grandfather. Having being there to experience, having a conversation, having that experience. But that's one thing with the elderly, like they kind of feel left alone for a majority of the time, like, and they want to share these stories. They want to just have a good conversation, you
Yeah.
know. And I tell my students all the time, like, well, obviously it didn't work for like the past year and a half for COVID. But I'm like, hey, if you guys ever want to do community service, like go to an elderly home. Like they just want to talk to people. And it's as simple as like you just chilling and showing you like, oh, show me videos on YouTube about cats. And they love that because they don't have that person, like their
Yeah.
kids don't have time to do it or something. So they just
Right.
want the interaction. So I mean that must be awesome. Like just to spend the day with your grandfather. Like
Oh
that should
yeah.
be awesome. But then like being able to go to like the farm we used to live in and work at and like
Oh, and we went to one of the cold storage places where he built cardboard boxes after school, and then
really
would
yeah
transport like pears on forklifts off trucks and stuff. And this was back in
yeah
like the 40s,
yeah of course
50s. So
like
it's like, man, he would ride his bike everywhere, he said,
yeah
like
and just
far.
seeing and I can only imagine him like his eyes lighting up and getting all these memories while he's seeing it and then like being able to tell it to someone like, oh yeah, well this was like this and like this is how it used to be set up.
Yeah.
It's just seeing like him having that interaction and seeing his eyes light up with memories and stuff. Like that must be awesome.
Oh yeah. And me and my grandpa have a lot in common.
Hmm.
Like so much in common, but I don't tell people all the things I think about, for
Yeah.
good reason. Not that it's incriminating. I just, but I'm very nostalgic and sentimental. So
Hmm.
I whenever I'm feeling bummed, or like I used to go on drives, and when I would want to clear my head, I'd go out and I'd drive to a couple of my old places, like I drove one
Yeah.
day when I was having a bad night in Union City 10 years ago maybe. I drove down to my old spot off Hofstetter, like
Yeah.
that we lived at during high school.
Yeah. Up like going
Yeah,
up the
you know
hill a
where
little
that
bit.
is, because you,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
yeah, you went there. You and Juan went there a few times, and
Yeah.
I think you even helped my folks move out.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah,
You showed up super early.
dude, that was awesome. But like that's what I mean, like such cool things like that, and
Yeah.
so it was just it was really rewarding for me, you know.
Hmm.
But it was
Yeah.
it was rewarding for me because I knew it was rewarding for him, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. In a way, both of you guys cherish the moment because one, he was able to spend this time with his grandson.
Hmm.
You guys, both saw the quality time. And it was, for him, both of you guys are lovers of nostalgia. So like going back down memory lane and seeing all this stuff. And it's
Oh
just you
yeah.
appreciate it because
Hmm.
you're a little bit of a history buff too. So I'm pretty sure you appreciate like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
so like that's awesome. I mean, the fact that you brought up, oh yeah, AW, Lodi was the first one in 1911. I'm like, well, shit, it makes sense because the only other A and W I know,
San Jose, right? Was it Winchester or Bascom?
maybe like I know of one in San
Oh
Jose.
yeah,
Maybe
I think it's still there. I think it's Winchester.
I'll have to look it up because
It's Campbell, I think, not
like
San
in the
Jose.
Campbell area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up because the only one I know is in Hollister.
Well,
There's one
you know what though? I didn't know Pizza Chicago was gone, so I
there
wonder
you
if the A and
go.
W is still there. So, but I think it is. I think it's still
Yeah, I'd
there.
seen it. Yeah, I think you're right because it's like combined with like I want to say like a
Yeah, something. No, you know where it is? It's right by Showcase,
yes, and I just saw it a
and it
couple
is
days
combined
ago.
with the
Yeah, you're right.
KFC. You're right.
Yeah, it is combined with KFC. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
that's
and
that's
and I
that
and I
one.
remember. Yeah, I remember it because yeah, I drove by there on Tuesday. So yeah, I think I need to go and make my little trip down there and get
Also,
myself a little
there's
burger.
that's the closest one for you, but there's also one over in San Bruno. No, there's one in San Mateo, I think. It's
Yeah,
on El
uh,
Camino, and it's yeah. Anyway,
that might be a little bit too far for
yeah,
me.
that's kind of
But
far, but
yeah,
but
hey, if I'm ever in the area,
get a float.
yeah, ooh, a little root beer float.
Um, but you
That's
you
awesome,
had
man.
you had a trip too, right? That you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean.
or something you wanted to?
Yeah,
I don't want
absolutely.
to. Well,
Your
we're not
experience
here
in
to
that is
compare.
just no, I know, but it's like yours is just so awesome because it's gonna be you're gonna cherish that now for the rest of your life.
Hmm.
You know, it's a great, and he's gonna cherish for the rest of his life also. So it's just awesome, and just being able to like have a man to man talk. You know,
Dude, seriously, like, where do you have the time to like one be alone,
yeah.
and two, one people you have to both parties have to want to have that talk. So yeah,
Like my talk with my dad, is usually like in the mornings, like when we're both drinking our coffee, and it's very like short, like hey, okay, but like very short. But just being there, like in the presence of each other, I guess that's meaningful.
yeah,
That means something. But like I know my brother and my dad, like they drove in down to Mexico together, and that's like a day and a half trip. So they definitely like
oh yeah,
been sharing memories and sharing, you know, and that's pretty awesome. And I had my opportunities with my dad, I had those conversations also with my dad, so that's cool. But I'm a mama's boy.
right.
Not gonna deny that. And same experience. Like on Thursday yesterday, my mom's like, "Hey, can you take me to the doctor's to pick up my, a prescription?" I'm
Hmm.
like, "Okay." Drove her. She knows how to drive. She just hates driving. So
Yeah.
went from there. We went to Total Wines, and then there was a Costco's for Market right next door. So we went to that, and
Hmm.
then there was a Marshalls, and there we are at the scented candle section, smelling candles. For whatever.
Wait, were you over by? Were you by Almaden?
No, this one was over here by like Santa Clara, by like
Oh,
Santa Clara, Homestead.
okay, yeah, by Valley Fair on the other side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
one on the
yeah.
south side. Yeah. Took her to the Kaiser over there on Homestead and is it Lawrence Expressway? I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
think
on
that
Lawrence
that sounds
Expressway.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were over there, just like that shopping center off the freeway. And like she loves it. She appreciates those like doing runs and she loves it. Like I remember this one time during quarantine, it was her, myself, and my dad.
Hmm.
And it was like she's like, I'm fucking bored. Let's go do something. Like I haven't been out like this whole week. Let's like
Yeah.
I need to get the fuck out of the house. Like let's go somewhere. And I'm like, all right, mom. Well, shit. Let's drive to. I'm like, okay, I know a spot. Just got in the car. We drove off, and I'm like, hey, how hungry are you? Like, oh, I'm gonna be hungry. Like I'm not hungry yet, but maybe like in half. I'm like, oh, perfect. I drove her to San Juan Bautista, and I took her to like the mission, and it was like empty because it was like pandemic, so it was like nobody out there,
Right.
and she fucking loved it. Like she's like, "Oh
Oh,
my god, it's so nice, so beautiful." Like I can't wait to bring Olivia so she can see she was just seeing everything, and she loved it, and there's nobody there, and she's like, "Oh my god," like she's like, "Thank you for bringing me to places like this. I would never like
oh
never
yeah.
knew." And we went to this burger spot right there in San Juan Bautista. It's called JJ's Burgers.
Hmm.
Fucking love that place. Hella pricey, but whatever. That's besides the point.
Yeah,
And yeah,
definitely.
same thing. Like she ordered her burger, we ate a burger, we ate outside, and it was like in the summer, but since San Juan is kind of like in the it's flat. There's nothing. It got windy and it got chilly because
Yeah.
we're eating outside. So I'm like, oh, I happen to have like a jacket at that in or a sweater. So I'm like, oh, here's a jacket. So she liked it. It was a quick, like, 3-hour trip or something,
Hmm.
45 minutes to get there, 45 minutes back, and hour party there in town. But she loved it, dude. She loved it. And kind of like, originally I was going to go with another story, but I was just thinking about this when you were talking about your experience. Like, it's, it's such, for us as humans, it's such like basic, such like insignificant things to do with it's like the simplest thing, like let's go grab dinner, okay, like let's drive somewhere let's drive 45 minutes
Or
to
go for a
Lodi,
drive even, right?
yeah, go for a drive and let's just get coffee
Hmm.
at some place an hour away. And it sounds so like basic, especially for some to do this with somebody that we cherish and that we love, but it's so meaningful, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Oh
Like
yeah,
dude, like if you were younger self, you're like, "Oh, what? You're going to take your grandpa to like Lodi? Like what the fuck are you going to do in Lodi?" But it's not really
dude.
like the destinations, like the significance of
Mm-hmm.
doing that trip.
And the company, right?
Exactly. And like, dude, like that was awesome. You were able to like, yeah, talk about like, yeah, this is where I used to live. This I used to bike it here, and this used to be where I used to work, and all this stuff. And like, yeah, that's meaningful, and I
Yeah,
feel like that's what when we were coming up with this topic is like spend quality time with like your loved ones and stuff, and like what trips that have a meaning. And
yeah.
we when we say trips, we think like it has to be like a fucking vacation
Mm-hmm.
place or something. But sometimes it's just
Like
something
a
as
day
like
trip.
a 15-minute drive. Yeah,
Yeah.
a trip to the store,
Mm-hmm. That's
you
true.
know.
Well, and then
So
it's funny you say trip to the store too. It's like because, um, well, I used to, but I would take my son grocery shopping with me, and
yeah.
and it was just one, I had some company, but two, he really, kids love going out. Like
Yeah.
that's always their earliest memories is going out with either a grandparent, an aunt or uncle,
Mhm.
folks. You know what I mean, or an older sibling. It's always
Yeah.
like super taboo that they get to leave the house. So I was
Yeah.
like, dude, and if he could make grocery shopping fun, which he did, because um, he's a freaking heartbreaker. So all the young women are like throwing themselves at him and giving him free cookies at the deli counter.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
of
going to
course
tell
he
him no.
knows that.
No.
Yeah.
Reap the benefits, dude. If anything, start batting those eyelashes more. I want one of those cookies.
Yeah. Ask him to throw an extra one my way.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
that chocolate
Yeah.
chip one over there. I think that's his real favorite. I'll take it for him.
Yeah.
I'll make sure he gets it.
You know what? He's in between cookies right now. So if I can get the chocolate chip and might as well throw two of the macadamia nuts also just in case if
Oh,
he
dude, fun fact about grocery stores with your niece.
mm-hmm.
Um, cookie. They give cookies for free to the kids.
Really?
You just got to go up to the deli counter and say, "Hey, can I get a free cookie for my niece?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, sure. Which one do you want, dude? Swear to God.
All
But
stores or
I believe so, but I've only done it at Rayleigh's.
okay.
But I believe so. And I think that's something as easy as maybe a quick Google search. Let me see.
Yeah. And this is at
I like the bake
the
section.
bakery. Yeah. That's when we were like the deli. I'm like, oh, the,
Well,
where
it's
that's
kind of the same.
they're next door. Yeah.
They're pretty much right there.
Yeah.
But it was funny because, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna have to look this up another time because all I'm getting is 8 cookie recipes you can bake with the kids. Like that's not what I
No,
wrote.
that's not
Thanks.
a lot.
But anyway, no, it's it was just they do that, or or they don't. But you got
Yeah.
Rayleigh's down in San Ho, right? Do you shop at Rayleigh's though? Not really, huh?
I don't think so.
They're not. I think you guys, because we don't really have Lucky up here. You guys still have Lucky down there, right?
Yeah, I know there's a Lucky. There's
Yeah,
at
and there was
least
one by
one.
my old place too. They're not very common either. It's mostly just
No, because
Safeways and Save Marts,
yeah,
right?
because Albertsons kind of took them over, and then Albertsons got taken over again by Safeway.
Well, yeah, and remember when Lenardi's took over Albertsons?
Yeah,
They went to. There's so much crap with the grocery industry.
yeah, it's
It's hard to know who owns what.
just and Trader Joe's just has a fucking mile long line just to go inside Trader Joe's.
Dude, and I like Trader Joe's, but I'm not waiting in a line to get in there. But I won't wait in a line to get in anywhere. I really won't. Like
No,
unless it's like something I love.
well,
You know.
maybe if there's only like 4 or 5 people to get in, and
Okay, but
then
yeah. That's not a significant line though. You know what I mean? I mean
yeah,
I'm patient enough for that. But I'm saying when it's a walk wrapping around the block and all that shit. No, I'm not
yeah.
doing that.
Like we were gonna go when I was gonna go to Mexico. I went to the outlets right there in Gilroy,
Hmm.
and I wasn't planning to go to a Nike outlet at all.
Yeah.
But I went across from Nike. There's the Van Heusen store, and I buy all my button-up shirts and shit
Oh, the
like that
dress
for work and
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice little dress-up one. And I look across the Nike store, and the line wrapped around like the outlet store all the way in the back. I'm like, why are you really gonna like? Are you?
I mean, are the sales even that good? Not
I mean, I
really,
get
right?
it. It's an outlet, maybe shoes, but you know what? You can get these like if you just go online, you
Yeah.
can find them.
And there's a Nike outlet in San Leandro
Yeah, there's one
right
in
off
the
Davis,
at the Great Mall.
or that
One
too.
in the Betas. Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like, that's the thing that's kind of ruined the Gilroy outlets too, because I feel like a lot of that stuff is really not so exclusive to Gilroy anymore,
No.
especially with
And
online ordering too, like you said.
yeah.
But it is
Like
fun. I still got like nostalgia. I was even
mhm,
thinking in my head, I'm like, me and you should do a an outlet trip one of these days,
yeah.
just for that reason, because it seems like both of us kind of enjoy that.
Yeah, see what we can find for the
I mean, because
sales and stuff like that.
I need dress pants too, or dress shirts too, and you
Yeah.
know what's funny? I actually need. I don't know what's up with me because I'm not really exercising. I guess I'm eating better or
Mhm.
eating less. I don't know what's going on, dude, but my pants are just all my pants. Like 2 years
Mhm.
ago, these pants fit me like, well, there you go, 2 years, right? But a couple
Yeah.
years ago, these pants were like tight. And
Yeah.
now I got like a fucking, like a 3 inch. I know, like who bitches about their pants being too big, but
Yeah.
it's like obnoxious because I feel like my pants rarely go through stages where they fit me perfectly.
Mhm.
And it's like I either look like a fucking elephant trying to get into some pants, because I used to have some Levi's that were like stretch ones, and I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know. They were comfy though. Like even though I had to
Yeah.
get used to how tight they were and I had to build my confidence,
Yeah.
I ended up being like, you know what, these don't look that as bad. I grew up with baggy, you know, so
Yeah.
but God, I totally spaced on what the hell I was saying.
You need to buy some new
Oh
jeans.
yeah, dude, but it just sucks because you look like a bum. Like, yeah, you don't want to be like breaking buttons, right? But at the same time, you don't
Mhm.
want to look like Charlie Chaplin either, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I gotta get my shit together. So I'm like, I need to go on a little spree. But yeah, no.
Mhm.
So as soon as you said that, I thought, reminded myself, I'm like, I need to buy some more pants.
Yeah.
God, I am so old and boring.
Oh god, no. And again with the online right now, the jeans that I love to get are the ones from Old Navy.
Yeah, Old
I
Navy's got
like
some.
yeah, I get their I think they're slim fit or they're skinny jeans but they're a little bit stretchy.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, like there was a time where like they fit good. They were, they weren't baggy because I wear like Converse and Vans, and like
Right.
depending the foot opening can be freaking disastrous sometimes. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it always pissed me off. So um, but I get them, and yeah, like now they're feeling a little bit too tight for my liking. So I might have to. I mean, the quick fix is just getting a bigger size, but the actual fix should be getting myself and eating correctly and all that stuff that I really should do.
You know what kind of works for me? Because dieting is not easy, and I pretty much never gonna say here's what I believe you should do. But
Mhm.
even though that's exactly what I'm gonna do, what's worked for me is this intermittent fasting,
Mhm. Yeah.
um, really well because I don't eat until about 3 every day.
Mhm.
Um, but that's also because I eat late. Like
Yeah.
tonight, I'm gonna smoke after this, and it'll probably be late because it's Friday. I won't stay up too late because I'm planning on doing shit. But I'll smoke, I'll eat. It's late. Typically, people don't eat right before they go to bed. This idiot
Yeah.
does. Um, it's supposedly not good for you either. I don't think it is
No.
good for you to eat right before you go to bed. But um, I've gotten my body used to it because for like the last year, I don't eat from pretty much midnight to about 3 p.m., which
Yeah,
is a
so that's
good 15
15 hours.
hours.
Yeah.
And I believe intermittent fasting is
Around that
12 to
time, I think.
16 hours or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much works out perfect. And then I mean, today I had McDonald's because Steph said, I don't want to cook dinner. So I bought you a double quarter pounder. And I said, man, I don't like McDonald's, but that's the one thing I do like there.
But I will not say no to that.
Hell no. And I
Yeah.
actually like McDonald's when it's reheated because the cheese is melted better. They never melt the
Oh,
fucking cheese right, dude. It's rare when you
two
get a
time
burger
melted.
there and it's perfect.
And
I
it's like
hate when the
super
cheese is
cheesy.
like
Yeah.
room temp. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean,
The
that's the
bun
whole
ain't
point
even
of.
warm, and then the cheese is like, it's like the only thing warm is the patty. I'm like, what are you doing? Take some
I
pride in
mean,
this. Melt that fucking cheese.
that's the whole point of like having the fucking cheeseburgers. Like you bite it and it's like the cheese
Supposed to,
supposed to be
yeah.
melted. Yeah.
Who wants a fucking dry cheese, like, or dry, cold cheese almost, like,
Yeah. It's the way when you take that bite, like it's supposed to be so glued to. Yeah, I know what you're
but
saying.
that's exactly why I love In-N-Out.
Mm-hmm.
And who doesn't love eating the cheese off that wrapper too?
Oh, dude, I fucking do all the time.
And that cheese is perfect. They always cook it
Yeah.
perfect. Their grilled cheese is hella good there too.
Oh, dude. Remember when a couple episodes were seeing how we all went through that vegetarian stage in our
Yeah.
lives?
Is that what you were
Dude,
eating?
yeah. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
That's
The
awesome.
In-N-Out grilled cheese,
You're like,
dude. Fuck
dude,
yeah.
that's smart though. If I was vegetarian, I'd be eating grilled cheese and tomato soup all the time.
Oh, fuck yeah,
Because
dude.
that's
It's
a good
so bomb.
combo.
You know what? One thing about being vegetarian or, whatever, being more conscious with that
Yeah.
is that it eliminates you from going to like fast food places.
Pretty much, dude, because there's not really a lot of I mean, how many falafel options there well, that is not even a drive-through, that's a drive-in.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I know there's a time that like McDonald's and like Burger King
Oh,
had like,
dude, those are terrible. The vegetarian burger at Burger King.
yeah, and I think
Oh,
Burger King. I haven't tried the Impossible Burger yet.
I did about
Not that
8
good.
months ago. No, I did it probably longer than almost a year ago because I was still
Uh-huh.
driving with the company I'm at now. It wasn't bad, dude. It's probably the best option they've ever had for a vegetarian or vegan.
Right.
Um, it's not what they say on the commercial, and you knew that. You knew that it wasn't going to be that good,
Yeah,
but
of course you
it
know.
was definitely probably about a mile of improvement over their old school vegetarian burger. That basically you saw the carrot bits in the patty. It just was it
Yeah.
was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it was like food you'd see like an animal at a zoo eating. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
real. It was like this shouldn't cost money. You should
Yeah.
be paying me to eat this crap.
And definitely like, so yeah, when that happens, like it eliminates like going to certain places. Like you're not gonna go fucking McDonald's and get that or
Well,
Burger
yeah, and
King.
and that's kind of what I'm saying too. Is like part of what I do for lunch is I pack my lunch. So even if you eat like a sandwich, dude, like it's still healthier than all that shit
Yeah.
because you're just eating the food. You're not eating the grease. You're eating all the crap.
The
So
process bullshit.
yeah, exactly. It's mostly the process more than anything because it's all the
Mhm.
salt and shit. So
Yeah.
your home cooked meal is gonna potentially probably have less salt. And salt's another thing that doesn't help you lose weight. It's also bad
Mm-hmm.
for you can get the stones, man. We're at that
Yeah.
age where we don't want to be getting those stones.
I heard they hurt when you pee real bad.
Oh
Man.
yeah, dude, like people get them surgically removed sometimes and most of
Fuck
the time you
that.
have to push them out and I've heard a lot of stories. And you know what the main preventative thing is?
Drinking water.
Yes, sir.
Haha. Hey.
I pulled it out of nowhere. But yeah, no, like exactly. It's fucking water, dude. Like
Hey.
I am a culprit of this. I don't drink enough fucking water.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
How rude of me not to.
Well, our school at the beginning, they always give us like a gift at the beginning of the school year. And they gave us this like Yeti larger size, like I think it's like a $50 fucking water container or something.
That's a nice one.
It's an expensive one, and all they did is just like they added the school name somewhere here. I already covered up with stickers.
Yeah.
So,
I just always thought that was your L3 canteen.
really, no, I just
It
put the
looks so
L3.
good.
I put the L3 sticker on it, and then I think this is the one because this is also an L3 sticker.
Uh-huh.
But this is where it has like the company, and then my friend, she should smell this out earlier in the week. I'm not
Bernie.
sure. Yeah, it's Bernie sitting down in
Bernie
the
meme.
chair. And
I
I'm
like
like,
it.
she made him stickers, or she bought stickers and she sent it to friends. So I saw it, and she's like, "Hey, I think you appreciate this." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I appreciate
Dude,
it."
that
So
is awesome.
yeah,
We gotta
that's the.
throw one of these on there for you.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I might even throw this. I still have the Scoop Kid sticker there, so
Oh, and by the way,
I might throw it up in
um,
there.
yeah, by the way, I'm thinking I'm gonna start bringing that. It's gonna be rare. It's not gonna be all the time because we just got so much going on. But I did definitely want to get back on that, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
and I always had that goal too. Like I said, one of my soft weird mental goal was basically just, like, geez, not forget what you're talking about.
That's one thing for sure.
No, the
But bring it back, the Stoop Kid.
yeah, well, yeah, my goal was I wanted to do like 20 some odd episodes of Tales because I didn't want to just do that thing where you're like start a project, start another project, and then don't take nothing serious. So I thought, okay, put this on hiatus because it kind of was. I was getting to a point where it was tough. My production wasn't on point. I was a little rusty. It was peak COVID, peak George Floyd, peak so much crap going on, and
Right.
I just was like, then this opportunity came through, and I've been wanting a co-host. I've been wanting a host with me. I've been wanting someone to do a show with. So when this opportunity came back up with us, and I just said, I'm gonna go in and we're gonna do it. But I did kind of say once I get to about 27, I wanted to start because that's where I left off.
Yeah.
With Stoop, I said I want to get this about evened up. That way, these are both respectable projects that I have built up, and then just do both. But I wanted to really build this one, get ourselves comfortable, and really build this project. And now this is a more developed, concrete project I have than any of the other ones I have besides the Balls of Fame,
Yeah.
which in a lot of ways has helped me step up my production game as well.
See, there it is.
Ooh, see, that looks nice.
Just put it in there too.
Yeah, it's a good
boom.
contrast too because you don't have any blue.
Yeah.
And pretty soon you're gonna have some green on there, so you're gonna have the whole rainbow of podcasts on there.
Woo.
That's
And it's
dope
all
though, because that's kind of your podcast resume canteen right there.
It really is, dude. Which is pretty cool, actually.
No, it's fucking badass. And then you're gonna have another one when we get a Balls of Fame sticker.
Yeah, I might have to get a different. I might have to ask the school to give me.
You're like, I need a bigger canteen.
Do you got an extra one? I need more.
I need more real estate.
Yeah, but yeah, dude. Like, I think that's cool. That you're going back to your roots or something, and going back to like the Stoop Kid where it kind of started, and now that we've been doing podcasting collectively for what 3 years already.
Yeah.
3.
You a little more consistent than me, but pretty much I've been doing on and off podcasts for about that much, dude.
I had like a year off because I was going through it. And that's when we started this project, Tales from the Head.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, now that we're more experienced, we can go back and revisit these projects and be like, okay, this is what wasn't working. This is what I like. This is what I'm going to incorporate from what I learned.
Exactly. And one thing I definitely wanted to do was, it kind of goes hand in hand with this one too, because it was kind of all about sharing stories. But the way I'm differentiating it is, Stoop Kid's basically going to be my interview podcast where I can just go and talk to whoever I want, or people or friends, or it doesn't matter. and we just kind of BS and just have a good time. It's going to be a little more, it could be structured, but it's more interview based / conversational. And I think I'm going to keep it that way. And then this is obviously centered around, mental health and what we're doing for ourselves and each other and our families. And, and then it's just everything we're doing is different, but not like unrelated, which is perfect.
No, and I think that's one thing, like, a lot of people, like, I know we promote this as a mental wellness podcast and stuff, but I think, like, we're not really giving tips. We kind of just talking about what works and stuff. And I mean, it's been a pleasure doing it, dude. And I'm still excited to see this grow and where it goes. And I mean, for the audience out there, if y'all hear it and you guys like what we talk about and like what we're doing to kind of like inspire you to put yourself first,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome to let us know. And Coop, where can they tell us what's up?
That would be the TFTH pod at gmail.com. We say it every week, and I'm still waiting hate mail. All right?
We want the hate mail.
I want Lone Star Reviews to be about me and my ugly acne or,
See it.
other things that physically bother people when they watch me on YouTube. Pick me apart. Make me your punching bag. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm basically a hacky sack for your emotions.
And don't think, I mean, if our feelings get hurt, guess what's going to happen? We're going to talk about it in this podcast the very next day.
And we're going to cry, and we're going to make money off of it. So I'm okay with it. I think if you want to haze me and I can make money off of it, let's just do it right now. Let's just get them lined up and let's get it out of their system. Because I'm down to make $6 or $7.
We can easily be bought, and it's not really high.
Clearly, it's not even a 10. Like, we weren't even doing Andrew Jackson. We're just like, give me a few ones and a fucking Lincoln. All right, that's all I need.
You're like $7. I'm like, God, that's like most random number. I'm like, all right, how much you got? $7? Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Well, think about it. You can get a little sandwich. I mean, you can't get a good sandwich, but you can get
7-Eleven sandwich.
Well, that's definitely not a good sandwich.
But the taquitos are definitely bomb.
Oh, no. Yeah, like, food poisoning aside, I don't give a shit. The Monterey Jack, the chicken in Monterey Jack is probably one of the best. Jalapeno cheese, you can't go wrong either. But
it had to be said.
Monterey Jack and chicken, I don't know, man. I think that's probably the best one.
It had to be said. Yeah. I mean, that one's good. I like the jalapeno cream cheese one.
You can't go wrong with that.
You can't go wrong. And even like the shredded beef with like cheese, not so bad.
That one's pretty good.
I do not. Those are the three I've only fuck with. The other ones, as far as like the buffalo chicken thing, no.
Dude, I love buffalo chicken. It sucks. It doesn't taste right.
Okay, no.
It's trash.
Definitely, because they have the deals like 3 for $3.33.
And they're pushy about it too. You'll buy 2 and they'll be like, get another one. You're like, okay.
Well, yeah, you're
just
right.
Trying to get rid of the fucking taquitos.
And then they're like, oh, 4 for like $4. I'm like, well, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
But then like me and you were like, okay, I'll buy another one. Twist my arm.
That much. Yeah, it doesn't take us too much to get convinced. Just like, what? There's a deal?
Yeah.
500 for $5?
And then you turn and you're like, well, I mean, now I got to do it. You look at the person behind you.
I'll be dumb if I don't pick.
I mean, he's gonna probably get it if I don't.
Yeah, well, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, fuck that guy and his stupid peppermint schnapps.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah.
Wait, they don't sell that at a 7-Eleven.
No, it's just beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just
see, if you are listening to this and you don't like the fact that I just lied, email us about it at tfthpod@gmail.com.
Please let us know.
And if you don't know, now you know. I've used that before. I love Biggie Smalls.
I do too.
And you know what? I normally don't leave us with a mantra, but I kind of came up with something. I it's not necessarily original, but it's definitely fitting to the subject matter, and I like it. So I'm going to say this: life is too short, and sometimes it's even shorter. So
Mm-hmm.
do as much as you can and love as much as you can, and that's all I got.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
And then now we can go and we can I don't know. It's Friday. What are we doing? Get some
Well,
rest?
um, yeah, probably get some rest. Finally finished Storm of the Century.
Oh, okay, perfect. We will
Um,
talk about that next episode.
I'm
Beautiful.
close to finish it because it's like a 5 hour
Yeah.
movie.
Oh no, it's long. It's a
Yeah, so
mini
I'm like, all right,
series.
I gotta break this up into a couple of segments here. So
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll do that
probably
on. Oh, that's perfect. Episode 27. That'll be part of our. We'll do a
gonna
good
finish
30 minutes on that, buddy.
if gonna finish that up.
Hell yes.
Um, maybe make myself a quick little peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now before I go sleep. Before I get into bed.
Are you gonna? You're not
And
gonna watch it tonight, or are you?
yeah, I am. I'm gonna finish it tonight
How much you
for
got? You
sure.
probably got like an hour and a half left.
No, it's like 50 minutes or like an hour
Oh, dude, that 50 minutes is yeah. You're not gonna fall asleep.
because I'm at the spot where like he left the he
He
like he
disappeared.
escaped jail or something. He
Yeah.
disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he reappeared like when I was dozing off. He reappeared like that's like an angel kind of form or like a demon kind of
Yeah,
form
with
or
the
the
black robe and shit.
yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm probably gonna bring it back like another 20 minutes so I can
Yeah,
like
and you'll probably skip forward a few because I do that all the time. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I wasn't that far behind. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, so we see that, and yeah, so he appeared himself, and like, I remember when as he was leaving, he told somebody, he's like, "Give me what I want, and I will leave you alone," or something, and
Yeah,
some guy up says like, he wants to, he wants give him what he wants, and they was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
dude, it's so good. Yeah, I think you'll dig it. And we definitely will be able. Excuse me, I just keep having the hiccups.
yeah,
We'll definitely be able to talk about that. That's a
for
good one.
sure.
Storm of the Century, guys. So, if you, I mean, you got a week or more, but episode 27 is gonna have a little recap. Storm of the Century, 1999 miniseries by Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
You want to check it out? Go for it. It's on YouTube for free.
Yeah,
Just YouTube, Storm of the Century, Stephen King. It'll pop up. It's about 5 hours, but it's free and you can check it out. And if you don't want to, then fucking don't. But
I
don't
mean,
ask us for things if you don't want to
recommendations,
do
yeah.
it.
And before you email us about the quality being bad, hey, it's freaking early 90s. Like we didn't have HD 1080i or P. This is old
No,
school VHS.
we just we had sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and we got it done. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. That was kind of a. I felt like a dad when I said that.
Hey, we had the American way
Like
back then. We fought hard for what we
Yeah.
wanted, goddammit.
And then you spit,
Yeah.
America. But yeah,
You damn kids.
damn kids.
You don't know how easy you got it nowadays, kids.
And kids, you got it real easy because we're going to tell you right now, you need to go to sleep. It's late and the podcast is over. I don't even know what you guys are still doing here. So we're going to see you guys next week. You have a good time and get some beauty rest. We all need it. Love you.
Love you, Coop.
Bye.